Hi, this is Zak Mir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Vox Markets for Monday, the 15th of November. Starting off with active energy, which has not exactly been a great situation so far this year, but we look as though we have broken a line of resistance there from back in May. That was around the 0.38 level, and above that, especially above the 50-day moving average on an end-of-day close basis, we could see the shares push up towards the 200-day line at 0.7 pence, maybe over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Bear trap reversal and bullish divergence there as well. So a few boxes ticked for the bulls in terms of a potential recovery there at long last. Stock which is new to me, but maybe other people are already on the case. Here we've got Bay Capital, and here we've got a situation where it's one of those things I do like, where you break the opening range, and then you can start looking forward to new greater glories. We did that on Friday, breaking the initial peak there around 20 pence and above 20 pence. Now we're trying to work out where the next, where the upside could be. This is always a bit challenging, a bit creative, but it looks as though we can say that we're in we've got a resistance line projection to chase from back at the end of September. And that could take the shares up towards the 35 pence level, which would be nice. And that's valid while we hold, obviously, above the 20 pence zone, the low 20s. Maybe you could say Friday's support area around, resistance area rather, around 23 pence. So above 23, looking for 35, maybe over the next couple of weeks. Chesterfield, I haven't looked at for a long time, but that seemed to be back in play at the moment. Here you can see that we've broken a line of resistance from June, and the 50-day moving average around 7.5 pence, above 7.5, looking initially towards the 200-day moving average at 10 pence, perhaps by the end of this month. Upside valid while we hold above 7.25, I think, which was resistance on the way down. Cloudcoco, stock which always sticks out because of its relatively amusing name. At the moment, we've gapped up. We had the golden cross last month, gap higher this month, and just missed hitting that line of resistance there at 2.3 pence, which was the technical target or charting target previously. One can maybe upgrade that a bit and say that we could head up towards the 2.5 pence level by the end of this month, if we can get decent follow through. Follow through would be, i.e., holding above around the 1.7 area. It's above 1.7, looking for 2.5 on Cloudcoco over the near term. Another new name, Future Metals, and here we've had I suppose a gap higher off the lows, hammer candle there at the beginning of last week, and while we're above the gap there, around 8.1 for the top of the gap there at, actually the second gap there, around 8.4, looking towards hitting the resistance on the way down as high as 11 pence, which may be hit as soon as the end of this week. So shaping up quite nicely there for Future Metals after flushing people out, I presume, who were in around the 11 or 12 pence area at the end of last month. Moving along to a stock which had a bit of a flurry earlier in the month. Feedback looks like it might just be getting back into the groove on the bull side. The reason for saying that is that we bounced off the 200-day moving average at 0.97, and above that we could at least retest this month's peak around the 1.35 pence level, 1.37. Best case scenario target here is that above the 200-day line, looking towards 1.7 pence or 1.8 pence, maybe as soon as the end of this year. Moving along to Getech, which I think I covered last week, broke out of that sideways bull flag, and looks like it's heading towards a golden cross as well. The gap higher, very encouraging. It suggests that above 30 pence we could head up to retesting the best levels of the year to date at 46, and maybe up to the top of the rising trend channel from December last year, as high as 50 pence by the end of this year. Interesting developments at the next stock, which I'll try and spell out properly. I think Golden Rock Global. Here's a bit of I think it's a bit of stake building. I think according to messages I've been getting, we've broken that line of resistance there from April quite nicely, and the 50-day moving average. End of day close above the now rising 200-day line could take the shares up to the 20 to 25 pence zone, maybe by the end of next month. Panthera is next, and here we follow this stock quite a lot. Looks like it's finally breaking out for a decent bullish stretch. That would be the break of the September resistance line and the 50-day moving average at 11 pence. Above that, looking towards the top of a broadening triangle from March as high as 21 pence, maybe over the next 4 to 6 weeks. So a decent turnaround there for Panthera. Just a few stocks to go now. First one is Powerhouse Energy, which has had plenty of press coverage, and the key here is that we have an end-of-day close above the old September peak at 6.35, I think, from memory, 6.35. Above that, looks like we're pretty clear towards the 9 pence level. If you're fussy, maybe you want to see an end-of-day close above the old June peak at 6.7, but I think 6.35 plus, and we could be on our way towards 9 pence by the end of the year. On to Rambler, which was not liked very recently, actually, even the early part of last month, but we've managed to break that target that we had there around 32 pence, and the 200-day moving average above 32 pence, we were looking for the 40 pence area, which we've basically done, and the view now is that an end-of-day close through the 41 pence area could be enough to allow the shares then to head up and fill that gap from May as high as 52 or 53 pence by the end of the year. So above 32 up to as high as the low 50s for Rambler. So a real decent turnaround after the financing news. Not really very surprising that you'd get that kind of change. Finishing off with Wildcat, and the key here is that the shares hold above the 200-day moving average. That's around 2.14 pence. If we can get a daily, weekly close above that, we could be on for a retest of the best levels of the year seen in both May and March, up towards the 4 to 4.25 area by the end of next month. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.